Well, hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bobbie and this is Bobbie Reads Tarot, and today I have something special for you guys that's a little bit different. What we're going to do is called Pick a Card Tarot Reading. So this reading is going to be for you. What are your next 6 months going to look like? Now, how do you decide which reading to get, or how do you get your reading? Well, you're going to pick one of these decks, and then once you've selected a deck, you're going to go to the timestamps listed in the description box down below and jump to your specific reading. So first we have the Morgan Greer Tarot with this beautiful chrysocolla. We have the traditional Rider Tarot deck with tourmaline. We have the Dark Mansion Tarot with a quartz crystal heart. And we have, I believe this is called the Biblical Tarot with a rose quartz. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to pause the video, take a moment, look at the different piles, look at the different crystals, and find the one that resonates with you the most. Once you've selected your pile, go to, like I said, the timestamps in the description box down below and jump to your reading. Well, hello there. If you picked pile number 1, which is the chrysocolla and the Morgan Greer deck, then this is your reading. And what we're looking at is, what do your next 6 months look like? I know that the world is crazy, and typically we look at general energy for everyone, but let's look specifically for you. What is your energy going to look like for the next 6 months? What can you expect? Let's take a peek and see what we can find. Okay, so starting right out, we have the Justice card reversed. So you might find that things seem like they are not fair over the next 6 months. This can be having a legal case that perhaps does not go your way. This can be things feeling like they are out of balance. The challenge that you will face over this next 6 months is a challenge with your partnerships. So this could be a romantic partnership, this could be a friendship, this could be a business partnership, but there is someone that you have a partnership with, this Two of Cups energy, some type of a cooperation, and it is going to be very challenging over the next 6 months. Now, just because relationships are challenging does not mean that relationships are over, right? With relationships, they have their ebbs and their flows and their challenging times and their easy times. So just keep that in mind when we see that is the challenge. The energy that you're going to be coming from is the Page of Cups reversed. So this is, when the Page of Cups is reversed, this can talk about being a dreamer. Okay, I feel like you have very big dreamer energy, and I almost feel like sometimes you can put your dreams ahead of like even maybe responsibilities, right? That would be an extreme version of this, but this is definitely, head in the clouds, dreaming about what the future could be. And I almost wonder if this isn't, dreaming about how you imagine your relationship to be, but that isn't really how that person is, like dreaming what you want them to be. And that could be where some of this conflict is coming from. Now, the energy that you're going into is the Hermit energy. One thing I want to say really quickly, as we're going through this reading, if we're jumping into this and you're like thinking this does not resonate with you at all, that is okay. Sometimes it doesn't resonate. If it doesn't resonate, I would check out the other readings to see if one of those resonates a little bit better. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to address that in case there's anyone that's like, I picked this pile, but this is not for me. That's okay. It happens. Okay, so the energy of where you're going is the Hermit. This is about going within and finding the answers. So this is about growth, self-discovery, wisdom, but also having time in solitude. You may find that you have some time for a while where you are by yourself, and it's going to give you time to be very introspective and to grow. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I know sometimes some people look at being by themselves as almost like a punishment, or it's very difficult for them to do that. But it's in that quietness and in that stillness that you're able to kind of figure out what it is you're doing, where you're going, you know, what you want. Now, the destiny, the aim, the goal of the next 6 months is the King of Wands reversed. This is tough energy, okay? The King of Wands reversed is authoritarian energy. So there could be things that are impacting you on a bigger scale. This could be things like government impacting you, or this could be leadership at your work, especially if your leader is male energy or masculine energy. But this is very, it's also a time restriction. So I'm wondering if there's going to be something that happens that puts a restriction on your time or limits your time over these next 6 months. What you don't see coming is the moon reversed. There are a lot of secrets that you don't see that are going to be revealed. There could also be some big things that happen that make you change the way you view things. You may have some uncertainty over the next 6 months. So you might have to wait for things to be revealed to you. The energy of the next 6 months is the Empress reverse. So the Empress reverse is a card of things not being brought to fruition. So if there's a project that you're wanting to do or something that you're wanting to see happen, there's a very good possibility that it is not going to happen in the next 6 months. Now, that does not mean it won't happen past that 6 months. It just means that for the time frame that we're looking at right now, it looks like there's not a lot of growth. If you are in the process of trying to conceive a child, this would be probably not happening in the next 6 months, okay? The environment is, we'll look at this though, 10 of Cups. So this is about having love and support. Okay, so no matter what's going on with your partnerships or your relationships, you still have love, support, family, and happiness. This is joy. This is a reason to be joyful. So this is very beautiful energy. So if you're looking at what's happening in the world and you're very nervous about what's coming, understand that, you know, our outside world is a direct reflection of our internal thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So if you feel good on the inside, your world is going to reflect that on the outside. So you don't have to accept what's happening in the world. You create your own circumstances. And I feel like you're going to do a very good job creating those positive circumstances where you're kind of shielded from, you know, things that are going on that are affecting other people. Now, the hopes or the fears is the Ace of Wands. So the hope is that you're going to have new opportunities, new ventures. This is all about getting good news. This is also about fertility. And then if it's reversed like this, I'm wondering if this is not going to apply to 99% of you, but I feel like there might be one person listening who's having fertility issues. And it's not going to happen in the next 6 months. But I don't think it's you. If you're a female, I think it's him. Okay, just for whoever's watching this that needed to hear that. Okay, and the final outcome for the next 6 months is the Four of Cups. So there could be some disappointments, okay? Or you could be a little bit bored or a little bit dissatisfied. But in the scheme of what's going on in the world, I would take it. This is not bad, okay? I feel like it might just be a 6 months of, this is the time of the self-discovery, going within, learning. I think that's what's going to be the major focus. So we're not going to see a lot of other things happening because this is where the growth and development needs to happen. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to get some oracle cards here. We're going to get this deck. Now, if you are ever curious to know what cards I use, if you click on the description box down below, there is a link to my website, and on my website I have pictures of all of the different decks I use as well as links to the deck information, so you can go check that out there. Also, if you've ever wanted to have your own reading with me, I do live readings and I do recorded tarot readings, and the portal to schedule those is also on my website, so you can check that out there. Okay, so let's see what other energy we have. What else would Spirit like you to know about the next 6 months? Let's get 4 cards. What other energies? Okay, so we have karmic relationship. resentments, triggers, perception, intensity and letting go, turmoil, and fleeting. You also have Sword and Rose. So this is like the good with the bad, the pleasure with the pain. This is clarity and truth, revelations, honor and protection, determination. I am wondering if this issue that you're going to have here, this challenge with this Two of Cups, is perhaps this karmic relationship. Okay? Sometimes we have to work out past karma, and we do that through these different relationships. So that could be part of what's going on. But this is a time and an opportunity for you to grow and to have clarity. And I feel like part of what you're going to learn during this time is more about yourself than the person. I feel like you're going to have an opportunity to really grow and change considerably, especially with the combination of having this karmic relationships card with this Hermit card. Okay, and then we have healing heart, healing heartbreak, toxicity or addiction, abusive relationships. So this could be taking this opportunity to heal. Maybe you've had some past relationships that are unhealthy or have unhealthy patterns or toxic, traits. And this is finally going to be your way of breaking out of that energy. If that's not it, this is definitely a time. The next 6 months is a time for healing. And I mean, with the Hermit, yes, it's going within. It's seeing what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So for sure, this healing heart, it's going to be a time, it might be a little bit of a boring time, but it's definitely going to be a time of healing. And it's going to be a time of having this 10 of Cups, having this love. Let's get one more. And love and support. I don't feel like it's romantic love. I feel like it's like support love. One more card, please. Okay, we have wedding rings, union and marriage, soul connection, everlasting love, and devotion. And this could be going to a wedding in the next 6 months, okay? I don't necessarily feel like, for some of you, this could be getting married, but I think for a lot of you, this could be attending a wedding in the next 6 months. Okay, now what I want to look at is I want to look at what is going to happen financially for you over the next 6 months. What is the financial energy for the next 6 months for pile number 1? Let's look at finances. Finances for pile number 1. Oh, King of Pentacles. That's like right out the gate. Good energy. This is stability when it comes to your finances, when it comes to money. This is someone who's very generous. This is powerful energy. This is just like money's good. Money's stable. Let's get a few more cards here to see finances. That's way too many. One at a time, please, Spirit. Okay, we got the King of Wands. We have two kings that are opposing each other. So what I would say with this one is the King of Wands is your passion. You may be tempted to spend more money than you should on something that you're passionate about. So like a hobby. Make sure that it fits in your finances this month, okay? Make sure that you're, balancing out what you have, that you're looking ahead, that you're remembering any type of automatic withdrawals you have in your account, because this is very like conflicting energy, but the money and the resources are definitely going to be there for the next 6 months. Now what I want to see is I want to see the energy for love and relationships. That is way too many cards. One at a time, please, Spirit. Love and relationships for pile number 1. Love and relationships. We are not getting any flyers today. That's so crazy. Okay, so we have the Fool, we have the Queen of Wands, and we have the Eight of Wands. So I do not think that this is the time for relationships, because there's a lot of information that's going to be coming in, a lot of news. And I feel like you're going to be in this Queen of Wands energy. Now, if you're a male, that's okay. You can still be in this energy, because the Queen of Wands is about becoming passionate about yourself, discovering things about yourself, right? And when we were looking at the other cards, we have that that Hermit card, which is all about self-discovery. Now, it's important though that you go slow through this process, and that you are you're making sure that you have all of the information that you need, because this can be something that starts off and it's either missing information or there could be immaturity. I'm almost wondering if you were to meet someone in the next 6 months, this person is immature, they're just not ready, or they're not where you are, because you're right here in this 8 of Wands, Queen of Wands energy. This is learning things about yourself fast, communication coming in fast, and then this is all about creativity. This is about being self-assured, down to earth. So I just feel like right now it's not relationship energy. It's all about working on yourself. Okay. And then let's look at career. Let's look at career for the next 6 months. Career for pile number 1 for the next 6 months. Career, please. Okay, so we have we have 2 threes, 3 of Wands reversed, activity that is not taking place, a pause, things being slowed down, careless mistakes. The 3 of Swords is needing to use logic and reason over your emotions. Don't make any emotional decisions right now at work. Take a breath. If something happens before you react, take a breath and think about it. And understand that there could be things that are moving very slowly, okay? This is not, the Empress reverse is about not creating new things being barren, and the Queen of Pentacles reverse is not really being on stable, secure footing. This is not going to be the time where you're going to have a lot of like major moves in your career. I feel like this is mostly going to be kind of a holding pattern, but I think you have the, and the Empress is a 3. You have 3 threes. Let me see what that is. Hold on. So 333 is a number that is related to nature and things being unbalanced, needing to find balance in things. So that is probably why you have all these 3s, because I'm seeing a lot of imbalance when it comes to what's going on with your career. I don't see any regression, but I definitely don't see any progression. This is just kind of like a holding pattern, okay? So that's what I see when it comes to your career. Now what I want to look at, I want to look at these Queen of the Moon Oracle cards and get additional information for you. So what is the energy for the next 6 months going to be for pile number 1? What is the energy going to be for pile number 1 for the next 6 months? We have abundance. Okay, so now abundance does not necessarily have to mean having a lot of money. Abundance can be other things. So there is definitely an air of abundance coming in. So hold tight for that. Pleasure. Seek out that which brings you pleasure. We've been finding that so many people have not been focusing or spending any time on the things that make them, or that bring them passion. Okay. And so what's happening is that the general collective energy is becoming lower and lower and lower. And to raise that vibration, we need people to do those things that they are passionate about, those things that bring joy and pleasure. So this is your sign from the universe that you need to look back on, what is it that you used to do? Do you have any old hobbies? Do you have anything that you used to love to do that you don't do anymore? If that's the case, I would strongly recommend you go back to that, revisit it. Okay, and let's get one more for the energy of the next 6 months for pile number 1. One more card, please, Spirit. And look, you guys, we have 33 and we have another 3 and an 8. So it's the next 6 months are going to be, remember your very first card was the Justice card reversed. It's all about imbalance. Just hang on, because what's happening here is that you're about to have amazing growth with this abundance, and then with blossoming. I feel like the abundance is going to come at the end of the 6-month mark. I feel like going through and doing all of the work and the self-development and all of that, I feel like that is what's going to lead you to this energy. But I feel like it's going to come at the very tail end of these next 6 months. But it's beautiful energy. But you need to get into that hermit energy where you're going within and you're really, you know, taking stock of the type of person you want to be, what it is you want in your life, what are your goals, what are your ambitions, what's really important to you. Okay, that's the first and, you know, most important step. Okay, and then to wrap up this reading, I would like to do an oracle card for you guys, a starseed oracle. I love these. This is any advice from Spirit that you did not yet receive in this reading that you need to receive. What have you not yet heard from Spirit? I want to do one card, please. What have you not yet heard in this reading that you need to hear? One card, please, Spirit. This is next 6 months energy, next 6 months. What do you need to hear? We have Earth pulsing, pulse of the mother, slow down, time in nature. Okay, you guys, I'm going to read this one to you. So this says, a mysterious pulse is woven through all of life. The planet itself has a rhythm. You can see it in the seasons and the tides. In our world of artificial lighting, long working hours, and modern conveniences, it's easy for us to feel stuck and off kilter. It's time to reconnect with nature and to surrender to the pulse of the earth. Today, many of us are disconnected from the land beneath us. Somewhere along the way, a severing happened, a moment when it became too painful to stay connected. We feel unsupported and as if we don't belong. We look to other people and the external world to fill the void of the connection, holding and belonging once given to us by the earth. Taking, clutching, conquering, longing for others to receive us fully, as the mother once did, forgetting that she's still here, waiting for us to remember and activate the part of us that longs to receive her embrace. When you consciously connect with the earth, a veil is lifted and she opens up and receives you more fully. You're able to drink from her sweet waters and release what no longer serves you. Stagnant energy falls away and you become connected to all things on the planet. I hope that this reading was helpful and provided you with a little clarity and a little insight over your next 6 months. If you have not yet liked this video, please be sure to give it a like if you liked it. It's a great way to help out my channel. And also, if you are not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's free, and again, a fantastic way to help out my channel. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Well, hey there, pile number 2. If you selected this tourmaline or pile number 2, then this is your reading for the next 6 months. Now, I want to say that if we start this reading and you find that it does not resonate with you, that's okay. It happens sometimes. Go ahead and check out one of the other readings. You might find that it resonates with you a little bit more, okay? So we are going to look at your energy for the next 6 months. Now, the world is going through some crazy stuff, right? But not all of us have to go through it, because our external world is a direct reflection of our internal thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So let's see what your 6 months are going to look like. What are your next 6 months going to look like? Let's take a peek and see. Okay, jumping right in, we have the 6 of Cups reversed. This is about spending time thinking about the past, but you might be romanticizing about the past. So you might be remembering it, but remembering it in a different light than it actually happened. So this is like looking back and thinking like, oh, in the good old days, it was so great, but like really there was a lot of actually not great stuff that happened. So that's kind of the energy that I'm getting. Thinking back, thinking back on your past, what your challenge is. Oh, the Sun card. I love this. This is all about achieving your goals. So your challenge is that you're going to be working really hard, but while you're being challenged, you're going to be achieving your goals. This is your aspirations. This is like, I mean, this is such a beautiful card. The Sun card is all about the attainment of glory, recovery, growth, beautiful energy. Okay, the energy that you're going to be coming from is the Emperor reversed. So this could be, you know, the administration affecting your life, your job, or something in your livelihood. Okay, this can also be an issue with like someone who's perhaps maybe a little too passive. You could have perhaps been a little bit too passive. I don't know if that's it though. I'm feeling like it's more something politically affected you. Okay, let's take a look and see where this energy is going. We have the Two of Cups reversed. So the Two of Cups reversed is about a partnership ending. I'm wondering if this is about separating. I'm wondering if you're watching this, if you have lost your job due to Trump policies, or if there's for some of you, this is going to be friendships or partnerships that end over these different ideological differences. But there could be some tough moments, right, over the next 6 months between you and other people. And I really feel like a lot of it has to do with this administration. Now, the goal, the destiny, the aim, oh, I love this, is the Empress. Okay, for some of you watching this, this could be a birth. So this could be children, grandchildren, friends having children, baby showers. But this is also the opportunity to be very creative. So this could be you tapping back into your creative energy, going back to a hobby or something that you used to do that you haven't done for a while. This is very fruitful energy. Okay, what you don't see coming over the next 6 months is the Devil card. So there is going to be some manipulation. There's going to be people that are trying to maybe control you, manipulation that comes from media sources, other people. So be aware of this. There also may be things that come up that are tempting over the next 6 months. Make sure that you're not, being tempted by something that is not in your highest good. Okay? Not in your highest good. You want to watch out for that. The energy for the next 6 months is the High Priestess. This is all about utilizing your higher intuition, and you have a lot of feminine energy here between the Empress and the High Priestess here. This is about trusting your intuition, being very connected to your higher self spiritually, having a good understanding of what's going on. Just listen to yourself and trust yourself. If you're getting like a weird inkling to go somewhere or do something, listen to your higher self. It's putting you where you need to be. Now, the environment for the next 6 months is the Five of Cups reversed. So I think that there could have been something that happened that was not great. For some of you, it could be experiencing a loss. This could be losing friends. This is some type of a heartbreak or grief. However, when we get this card, it means that you've already hit the lowest point. It's as bad as it's going to get, and now you are on the path to recovery. Okay? So just keep that in mind. If you've had a rough go of it lately, things are going to start to improve and get better. The hopes or the fears. The hope is, obviously to have a beautiful, happy family, to have joy, and the fear is to not have that. Now, I would really caution you about allowing your fear to take over or to take control, because right now we live in this very uncertain time, and it is very easy for us to allow our fear to just grab us and take hold and take control. But you have to, prevent that from happening. You have to be aware of it and find tools and tactics for for circumventing those thought processes, because you don't want to hold yourself back because of your, you know, limiting beliefs about something. And your final outcome for the next 6 months is Queen of Wands. This is, again, very creative. I feel like you are going to have the opportunity to make something, to create something. Something is going to come to fruition. This Queen of Wands is, it's down to earth energy, but it's passion, it's creativity. That Wands energy is that fire energy. Okay, let's see here. So now I want to look at just some oracle cards and see what other energies we can get for the next 6 months for pile number 2. So let's see what else we have for pile number 2. Okay, we have camera, reminiscing, making memories, learn from the past, and perception. There is something from your past that is weighing very, very heavy on you right now. You might be thinking back about things that have happened in the past, relationships in the past, how things used to be. Okay, what else do we have here? Okay, we have the Golden Mirror. So this is narcissist, love bombing, self-absorbed, one-sided. So this can be either being self-absorbed or self-centered on your end or someone in your life. Be sure that you are, like, look in your relationships, right? And make sure that they're fair and balanced. See if one person is giving more than someone else. Are they balanced? Or is the one person putting in more of the effort than the other person? I feel like you could be in a relationship that's very one-sided. Now, this does not have to be a romantic relationship. This can be a relationship with anyone, a friend, a coworker, a child, a parent. Okay, so I don't want you to think it just has to be a partner. Okay, and then we have Coffin, which is new beginnings, liberation, reborn, and transition, and tragic endings. So this is similar to the Death card. There could be an ending and new beginning that you experience in the next 6 months. We have Shock, which is sudden change, shocking news, surprise, and epiphany, and transformation. We know that there are things coming up in the world that are going to be quite shocking and that are going to be, you know, big events. So I would definitely be prepared that you most likely will have sudden change in your life, sudden things to, you know, expecting that there could be change. Now, this doesn't have to mean that it's bad change or good change. It's just change. It's sudden change and it's transformation. So there's the opportunity to have great transformation in these changes. And then we have twin flames. Now, this will not be for everyone, okay? But for some of you, this will resonate. Twin flame energy is when you find your other half. Now, soulmates and twin flames are very different. Soulmates are when you find someone and your souls essentially resonate with each other. A twin flame is like your other half. It's like you're whole and then you're split into two people and you're put here on earth. Most of the time, twin flame relationships do not work out because not only do our twin flames show us all of the best qualities and traits of ourselves, but it also shows us our worst qualities and traits about ourselves. And that can be very hard to, you know, look at head on. The other thing with twin flame relationships is that typically there's a runner and a chaser. So there's one person, and it can change, like, you know, people can change roles, but there's usually one person that's running and one person that's chasing. Okay. So for some of you, and again, I don't feel like this is going to be everybody. I feel like this is going to be just a very small group of you. There is going to be something that happens when it comes to a twin flame relationship. Okay. So just know that that energy is there. So now what I want to do is I want to look at finances for the next 6 months. Let's take a look at your finances for the next 6 months so we can see what is going on there. 11:11 on the timer. Okay, let's see here. We are looking at finances. What is going on with finances over the next 6 months for pile number 2? So there could be a decision that you have to make, or you might have to put things in balance. It might be time to balance your account or to create a budget, okay? But it's time to find balance when it comes to your finances. What else do we have? Now, we have the Strength card reversed, and this is about trying to use brute force versus a gentle, elegant strength. I almost feel like this is trying to force the amount of money that you have right now to like cover everything you want it to cover. I feel like there could be a lot of expenses that you could cut out, but you're trying to make it work. Look and see, is there something you can get rid of that you really don't need, but for whatever reason, you're trying to like force that you get to keep? That's kind of the energy that I'm getting from this one. And then we have the World card reversed. So there's something incomplete. Okay, so if you're expecting money to come through in the next 6 months, there could be a delay. It could be incomplete. You might not achieve, if you're wanting to have a, look for a new job, you might not be able to find that within 6 months. Okay, so I would strongly encourage you to try to budget and find balance when it comes to your finances. It's going to be much more helpful for you getting through these next 6 months. Okay, now I want to take a look at relationships and love. What do we have for relationships and love for the next 6 months for pile number 2? Relationships and love. We have the King of Cups reversed, sensitive male energy. Someone who can be perhaps distracted and someone who's perhaps volatile. Okay, male energy, someone who's incredibly sensitive. Here's an offer, Ace of Pentacles. This is usually an offer of typically like a job or a business opportunity, but it's also new beginnings. Okay, this could be finding an offer of a relationship, love at work, or yeah, I'm feeling like it's at work. Maybe around your home. I mean, because this is home and stability. We have the Three of Cups reversed. Okay, watch out for King of Cups energy in your life. For some of you, this isn't going to be for everyone, but for some of you, this King of Cups energy, this person is probably imbibing a little too much in substances, whether it's, it can be anything. It could be alcohol. It could be chemical substances. It could be, things that distract you, like video games. All right. Doesn't necessarily have to be a substance, but I'm wondering if there's going to be a King of Cups that's coming in with a little bit too much party time, and they present you with an offer of a relationship. If that is the case, we do not want to go there because that is not going to be healthy. You have the Magician card. The Magician is about being able to manifest whatever it is you desire. You do not have to accept relationships with people that are not healthy, because you can manifest a partner that would be perfect for you. Okay, the Magician has all of the tools they need to be successful. They have the cup, the pentacles, the sword, and the wand. But it's about having the belief that you can manifest what it is you desire. Okay, let's see outcome for love and romance for the next 6 months. Okay, so I do not see, I would steer clear of relationships if all possible. And I'm wondering if this could be remembering a past relationship and it causing you to lose sleep. All right, so someone may be really heavy on your mind. And it could be this, for some of you, it could be this King of Cups. But I would really encourage you to see what is possible over here with what you can do with this Magician energy and the different opportunities that would be available for you if you stepped away from this energy and stepped into this energy, because this energy is heavy and it's bringing you down and it doesn't feel good, and this energy is fresh and new and it's a new opportunity. Okay, Okay, so now what I want to look at is I want to look at your career. What do we have for career? What do we have for your career? I want to shuffle that a little bit better. Pile number 2, career, please, Spirit. Pile number 2, career, please. That is way too many, and they all flipped over. Okay, so we want to see career. Career is separate from finances, okay? Page of Pentacles reversed. That is waiting for an offer that maybe does not come through, or it can be unwelcome news regarding your finances. So if you are expecting like a raise, a merit, promotion, something, it might not happen. There could be conflict when it comes to your career. If you're in a job, there could be some kind of conflict that's happening at work. Okay, and where is this leading? What is the outcome for the career over the next 6 months for pile number 2? Needing to make a decision. A decision needs to be made, and there's a lot of choices. There's a lot of possibilities and a lot of confusion. Make sure that you don't let your ego get in the way, okay? So like an example of this could be, let's say you get promoted and you're making like $20 an hour, and when you get promoted, you're expecting to make like $30 an hour, but maybe that's an unrealistic expectation and they offer you $25 an hour. Well, don't let your ego get in the way and be like, that's not fair, that's not enough, I'm worth more. Look at it for what it really is, okay? Don't let your ego get in your way. I feel like your ego might hurt you when it comes to your career over the next 6 months. So I would really encourage you to just take a breath and not react too quickly. What I want to look at is I want to look at what energy do you need to embody to navigate this career situation for the next 6 months. What is the energy, or what do you need to know? What does Spirit have for you to successfully get through these next 6 months? Creation. You have that creative knack. You have that ability. You are that Queen of Wands energy. There's something that you can make that can change things. Okay, so this could be like, there's some kind of thing that you can contribute to work that will change the way that this feels, and it will change the way you're looked at, and it'll change your experience that you're having at work. Okay, now I want to look at just general energy for the next 6 months. So we have pleasure. Yes, this is all about spending time doing those things that you find passion in. And I feel like this is very much tied to your ability to create. What is it that you can create that's going to bring you pleasure and raise your vibration? We have action. It is time to take inspired action to get you closer to your dreams and the things that you desire. Okay, don't wait for someone to come in and do something for you or to make it happen. Make it happen for yourself. And let's get one more of these. Yes, you're being called to take action. And then we have discernment, being able to discern, knowing the difference between different things. Is there something that's good for you, or is it bad for you? Understanding the difference. Is this friend good for you, or is this friend bad for you? Discernment is going to be very important, because I do think it's going to be, there's going to be some stuff going on here, especially with your career, but we're looking at now general energy. It's very important to use discernment, because there could be people or things that kind of try to pull one over on you. And I don't want you to get caught in something because you weren't able to discern what you needed to from the situation. Okay, so we're going to use that as a little bit of a warning. Okay, and then I want to get one final card for pile number 2. This is going to be an oracle card. And this is any final advice that pile number 2 needs to hear that they have not yet heard in this reading. So what final advice does Spirit have for pile number 2 that they have not yet heard in this reading? One card, please, Spirit. And we have empathetic starseed, energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. Let's take a look and see what Spirit has for you. So empathetic starseed says, empathetic starseeds are here to shift the world through their physical presence alone. They don't need to do anything beyond being here, thanks to the energetic change their physical presence causes. Due to their highly sensitive nature, empathetic starseeds can struggle with being on Earth and in a physical body. Many are prone to addiction and depression or tend to mistake other people's feelings and moods for their own. Natural introverts, they tend to prefer spending time alone or in small groups. Crowds can be overwhelming for them. If this card appears, consider lightening the load energetically. Don't put yourself under such pressure to go out into the world. Be gentle with yourself. Allow extra time and care to recover energetically. If you're feeling pressured to keep up a certain pace, instead put on the brakes and treat yourself like a precious baby. Do whatever you can to take the pressures of the world off your plate. Switch off to switch back on. In today's world, it's normal to feel that we should be doing more, but perhaps being present in our life is enough. This could be a phase you're going through or simply how you're being called to live your life. If your work involves giving to others, right now you're being called to keep something for yourself. You don't need to transmute it all. It's okay to look after your own growth and healing before feeling you should offer it to the world. Indeed, it's necessary if you want to continue to do so sustainably. So it's important for you to watch out for yourself, especially if you're an empath. It is so easy to allow other people to deplete you of your energy, and it's important that you don't do that. Okay, if you liked this reading, if it helped provide you with some insight, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up on your way out. And if you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's free and it's a fantastic way to help out my channel. I hope that you enjoyed this pick a card reading. I know it's a little different, but I wanted to do something a little fun for you all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Well, hey there, pile number 3. If you chose the Dark Mansion Tarot or the Quartz Crystal Heart, then this is your reading for what you can expect over the next 6 months. Okay. Just because the world is being very crazy right now does not mean our lives have to be crazy, right? So let's take a look at what you personally can expect over the next 6 months. Now, if I start this reading and you're like, Bobbie, this does not resonate with me, that is okay. Then this probably isn't your reading. Click out and choose another one, okay? All right. So let's take a look and see what you can expect over the next 6 months. The Four of Swords reversed can be a forced timeout, but it can also be a card of social unrest. So you could live in a geographical area where there is some social unrest. So be very careful of your surroundings, what's around you, where you go, crowded places, things like that. The challenge that you're going to face is the Hierophant. Look at that. That is the card of government. So the government is going to cause issues around where you live. So this could be if you live in a city where there's perhaps a lot of ICE raids, or perhaps a very blue area and there's some kind of a natural disaster and the state needs funds and it doesn't come through. I mean, there could be some challenges that you're facing where you are based on what the government is doing. The energy that you're going to be coming from is the Magician reversed. The Magician reversed talks about a couple of different things. First, it talks about smoke and mirrors, people trying to deceive. And we know that there was a lot of smoke and mirrors and deception leading up to, just the last few years. And it's led up to this energy of where we are right now and where you're headed. The other thing that the Magician speaks to when it's reversed is having all of the tools that you need to be successful, but not quite knowing how to put them all together. Not quite knowing the right mixture. So it's you're almost there, but not quite there. So you might have felt in the past like you were trying to achieve something, trying to accomplish something, and you were close and you knew you were close, but you just like couldn't quite get there. That might resonate with you, okay? The energy of where you're going is the Nine of Pentacles reversed. So the Nine of Pentacles reversed, it can talk about being dissatisfied with how things are. The Nine of Pentacles reversed can also talk about your ego getting in the way. So ego can be looked at two different ways. Ego can be looked at like, look at that person, they have a big ego. Or it can be looked at like the ego is the self that tries to essentially protect you. It's like the id, and it's the little voice in your head that like basically tells you not to do anything to try to keep you safe. You could be dealing with that type of ego, okay? Telling you limiting beliefs and trying to talk you out of things to keep you safe, getting in your way, sabotaging you. So keep an eye out for that, because you could have a predisposition for it, okay? So if you know that it's coming, you can be aware of it, and then you can prevent it from, affecting you as much as it might otherwise if you hadn't prepared for it. The aim, the destiny of your next 6 months is the Nine of Swords. You're gonna have a tough time. Nine of Swords, though, is more like anxiety. So I should reframe that. You might not have a physically tough time, but I feel like you're gonna have a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry about things. So I'm not seeing things actually happen. I'm seeing more the fear that it's going to happen. And I would encourage you to really try to spend some time getting any fear you might have under control. And I know that's obviously easier said than done, but sometimes we can spend so much time in fear and worry about everything bad that could happen that we are just giving so much energy to it that we create that. And that's what we don't want to do. Okay? So it's about finding an ability to shift when that energy, that anxious energy, gets to be too much. A really great technique is to do different breathing techniques. Box breathing is my favorite go-to, but it could be, putting on comedy videos on your phone, or like TikToks about golden retrievers. I don't know, whatever. But it's really important that you don't allow yourself to sit in this energy. It's okay to get stressed out and to worry. Like, I'm not telling you to go about your life and just pretend like everything's fine. You obviously have to, take care of the important things. And sometimes there is worry and stress, but it's about spending extra time in that energy that you don't need to, okay? Like, get in, get out. All right. What you don't see coming is the Five of Cups. Ooh, this is not great. So this could be some loss, some sadness. This might be a difficult 6 months for you. You may see people that you love impacted by things that are happening in the world. And that's just, that's just really tough. That's really heavy energy. The energy for your next 6 months is the Nine of Cups. Okay, so the Nine of Cups is material success. So you're going to have some kind of material success. So while you're dealing with some emotional things and some stress and anxiety and this ego telling you that you're not good enough, you have this ability to manifest. And this is what happened. Look, you had this magician energy of having all of the right tools, just not knowing how to use them correctly. But now you've been able to flip your magician energy, and you're in this Nine of Cups energy where now you know how to use your resources, use your tools. Now you're starting to manifest. This is beautiful energy. Okay, let's see your environment. Nice. Ace of Pentacles. This is offers coming in. This is financial success, financial offers. This can be new beginnings, new investments. But this is beautiful energy. I feel like Your finances, your money, I feel like looks pretty good. We're going to look at that a little bit deeper, but this is looking really good. Okay. So hopes or fears? Oh, I love this. 10 of Cups. This is so beautiful. I mean, the hope is to have happiness and joy and family and community and feeling close, emotional fulfillment. Beautiful. Final outcome for the next 6 months is the 8 of Cups. This can be departure. You may be going somewhere. You may be moving. You may be leaving. You may decide to relocate. It might be time to walk away from something. If you felt a calling to go somewhere, I would encourage you to look into that. Ann Tucker, she is a YouTuber who channels angels. She's amazing, but she's talked about this quite a few times on her channel about if you feel a calling to be somewhere, to follow that instinct. And I have to say, I myself personally have felt a calling to Sedona ever since I went there for the first time. And now, you know, I'm in the process of trying to move to that area. So because I felt that calling and it was like, okay, I'm going to follow it. So if you have that kind of a feeling, a pull to go somewhere, I would encourage you to look into that. Okay. Okay, now we're going to get some general oracle cards with keywords to see what else is going on for you, pile number 3. What else is going on for my pile number 3 people? Here, I'm going to move this out of my way. Pile number 3. Okay, we have the Chaser. Fear of abandonment, chasing codependencies. Okay, so is there some fear you're having? Now, this can apply not just to relationships, but this can apply to people, to jobs. I mean, this is like, you don't have to be chasing a partner, okay? This could be chasing, the fear of abandonment could be, you know, wanting to be close to family, friends. Look at all of your relationships. Are there relationships that you need to look at, reevaluate? Is there someone that you're putting in more effort than they are? And is it time to reevaluate that relationship? You know, we can't always be chasing people down. They at some point have to put in the effort. And if they're not going to put in the effort, then do you really want to keep chasing them? I mean, I don't think so, right? Key on a ring is you have many options. Many options. This talks about having unconventional options. This does talk about other things like a one-night stand or string along. I don't know about all that, but this to me, when I see key on a ring, it means you have options. You have a key that can unlock doors. This is potential and opportunity. But what are you going to do with it? Are you going to use the key or not? Because I think you're going to have this mix of, you know, highs and lows, heartaches and successes and joys. And I feel like you can experience this next 6 months a couple different ways based on your outlook. How do you want to experience it? What is your outlook going to be? Because I feel like these challenges that you're going to face are going to be opportunities for immense growth. And I think it's the beauty that's going to come out of it is going to be much more, it's going to be worth so much more than the tough times actually going through it. Okay, I want 2 more cards, please. 2 more cards, please, Spirit. Pile number 3. General energy for the next 6 months. Seduction, attraction, teasing, hooking up, and date. Third-party temptation. So for some of you, there could be some spiciness that comes in over the next 6 months. Okay. I mean, we do have one night stand, hooking up. I do not think this is going to apply to everybody, but I do think that there's this opportunity for romance, seduction, partnership. We will look more at relationships. Okay, let's get 1 more card, please. General energy. One card, please, Spirit. General energy for pile number 3 for the next 6 months. You're not getting any flyers out of this one, huh? Okay. We have sunglasses, watching, looking, perception, stalking. So it's time to look at your perspective. Look around, see what's around you, be observant. Please don't stalk anyone. But for some of you, there may be someone stalking you. So be observant. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to look at your finances for the next 6 months, pile number 3. Let's look at your finances. Let's see what's going on there. Finances for pile number 3 for the next 6 months. What do we need to know? One card at a time, please. Okay, we have Knight of Pentacles reversed, 5 of Wands reversed. Knight of Pentacles reversed is a very slow moving knight. This is money that you're expecting, but it's not coming in. It's going very, very slowly. You might even have to fight a little bit for this money. 5 of Wands reversed is unnecessary conflict. So money that should be coming to you, and you're having to fight for it. However, we do have this 3 of Cups. This is celebration. So I do feel like in the end, it will come to you. But it might be very stressful. And that might be part of that anxiety that we were seeing in that last spread, right? Because there was a lot of anxiety. Does it have to do with your finances? It could. But again, understand that you're going to have this reason to celebrate. So don't worry about it in the meantime. Try to put it out of your mind, because you know that in the end, it's going to work out. It's about learning to put faith and trust in the universe. And that can be really hard to do. Now I want to look at relationships, love, and romance. Relationships, love, and romance. That's too many. For pile number 3, please. For the next 6 months. It's too many. One at a time. One at a time. Relationships, love, and romance. Okay, we have the Page of Cups reversed. The Page of Cups reversed is someone who can be kind of emotionally immature. Someone who's a dreamer, but not very responsible. So this could be someone in the past that, you know, was a big dreamer. They promised you the world, but when it came down to it, they couldn't quite deliver because they just, you know, they didn't have their lives figured out. But look at this. We have this King of Cups energy coming in. This is amazing. So this is either who you're headed towards or who you're currently with. This is someone like the Page of Cups reversed is inexperienced, young, immature, and then King of Cups upright is stable, emotionally intelligent, loving, good father. I mean, just really, these are like polar opposites, okay? Where are we going with this King of Cups? I wonder if that King of Cups is that one night stand energy. Okay, what's going on with the King of Cups? King of Cups, love and romance relationships. We have the 10 of Wands. It's going to be a heavy burden, okay? Well, I shouldn't say heavy burden. Burden's the wrong word. This is going to be a lot of work. Sometimes we get into this mindset of thinking that relationships should be effortless, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. Relationships can be, most of them, the good ones, are a lot of work. While this relationship will be a lot of work, the reward is also immensely worth it. Okay, so a good relationship is going to stretch you. It's going to push you to grow and become a better person. And then we have the 8 of Cups reversed. This is actually errors and judgment. Errors and judgment. What else do we have? We have the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, be careful that you're not being too generous with people, okay? Because you might have the tendency of making the bad, like giving people more credit than they deserve, or like being way too trusting, giving people, just like too much leeway. And I feel like you're very giving, very generous. You're giving of your time and your resources. And I would be more discerning. I would be much more selective. Be careful that you're giving your time and your energy to a King of Cups and not a Page of Cups. Okay? That's going to be really important, because I think you're going to have the opportunity to have either. Both are going to be presented to you. So which way are you going to go? Okay? Okay. Now I want to look at career. I'm looking at career different from finances, because I feel like sometimes money can come in from places other than your career. So we looked at finances, but now I want to look at career. Let's look. Okay, so let's look at career over the next 6 months for pile number 3. Career over the next 6 months for pile number 3. We have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is about institution. Okay, this could be working for government. This could be working for a bank, for a school. This is finding structure and orderliness in your career. This could be also like working for a university. We have the Wheel of Fortune reversed. The Wheel of Fortune is a card that talks about fate, your destiny. When it's upright, it can be good luck. When it's reversed, it can be bad luck. But it's also, the spin of the wheel. When is your luck going to change? You never really know for certain. But you have 2 major arcana cards here for your career. So I feel like your career is very, very big energy, and it's going to be a focal point over the next 6 months for you. Let's see what else we have here. We have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is very intuitive. She's very sensitive. She's also very empathetic. So I do think that you're going to be very in tune with what's going on when it comes to your career, your growth. We have look at this. You have 3 major arcana cards and 2 court cards. This is big energy. Lovers is about a partnership, partnering up, a mutually beneficial partnership that is built on passion. Now we're looking at work, so this is a job that you're passionate about. But the Knight of Swords reversed can be a stressful situation. So there could be something coming up at work that is very stressful. Stay in this grounded Queen of Cups energy and just write it out, because ultimately the decision that's going to be made or whatever's going to happen is in your favor. Okay, but it could just be a bumpy road. Just hang in there. But I feel like this is going to be really good energy for you once you get through it, because you have this Queen of Cups energy and this partnership. So you're going to benefit through whatever happens to your career. But I do think something big is going to happen with your career. Okay, and now we are going to look at general energy for the next 6 months. What general energy do we have for the next 6 months? For pile number 3. General energy. General energy for the next 6 months. Pile number 3. We have realization. Realization. So there may be things that you start to realize, epiphanies that happen, things that you never saw before, but all of a sudden it's there, you see it, and you might even wonder, how did I not see this before? And then look at this. You have hunger and nourishment. This is very yin yang, balanced energy. You may have a lot of Libra in your chart. This is, or Gemini. This is very, or Pisces. This is very one, the other, light, dark. This is karma. It is all about karma, pile number 3. But not karma, like, it's like everything balancing out in your life. That's so interesting. And it also goes into like this idea of you can't experience nourishment unless you know what hunger is. You can't experience the light unless you know the darkness. You can't experience the joy unless you felt pain or sadness. Very, very, very interesting. I love that. Wow. Okay, we are going to finish off your reading pile number 3 with a Starseed Oracle card. If you are ever wondering what decks I use, I have a website, which is in the description box down below this video. And there is a page on there that has pictures of all of the decks I use, as well as links to the deck information. And if you've ever wanted to get your own personal reading with me, you can do that on my website as well. Okay. So can we get one final message for pile number 3? What do they need to hear that they have not heard yet in this reading, Spirit? One final message for pile number 3 for their next 6 months. Next 6 months. Okay. We have the weight of the world. Boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry. Look at how beautiful and pink that card is. Okay. So let's look at it. It says, weight of the world. You don't need to carry it all. You're no good to anyone if you're running on empty and bogged down by the weight of the world. This card is a reminder to look after your own well-being before anyone else's, to stop carrying the world's problems on your shoulders, to put on your own oxygen mask first. In these changing times, it's hard not to feel overwhelmed by the state of the planet. However, you can't take on its problems from a place of energetic depletion. This card is thanking you for caring so much. You want to build a better world and ease the road for others, and that's incredible. But the way you've been doing so is likely unsustainable. This isn't to say you should switch off to the world's problems and become unconscious. Rather, it's a call to establish clear boundaries so you're not constantly taken out energetically. The planet needs you to be healthy both physically and emotionally. So instead of digesting the news or reaching for your phone as soon as you wake up, show up first to a nourishing practice such as meditation, soul inquiry, deep breathing, or exercising in nature. Once you're in a state of grace and your inner well is full, you can face the day, the state of the world, and care for others. And at the day's end, take an energetic shower by emptying out anything that's not yours to carry. You can pick it up again the next morning if you so choose, but give yourself time and space to rejuvenate and rest. I love that so much. If this reading resonated with you, please be sure to give the video a thumbs up on your way out. And if you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's free and a fantastic way to help out my channel. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Well, hey there. If you chose pile number 4 or the Biblical Tarot with the Rose Quartz, then this is your reading. And I'm kind of moving things around because there is a very harsh glare on these cards that I did not realize. So I'm going to move this light up a little bit. See if we can kind of, there will be more shadows. I apologize, but it'll be less of a glare. Okay, you guys. So this is your life and what you can expect for the next 6 months. Now, remember that our external worlds are a direct reflection of our internal thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So what we think, what we feel, what we experience, that's what we see reflected back to us in our worlds. Okay. So just because the world is going through a very rough time does not necessarily mean that we have to go through a rough time as well. Okay. So let's take a look and see what you can expect for the next 6 months. Okay, let's take a look here. Pile number 4, what can you expect for the next 6 months? So the first thing we have is the High Priest. This is also known as the Hierophant. This is a card that's about government, but it's also a card very much about structure. Okay, you could have a lot of structure to your life. You could have a job where you work for some type of an institution, whether that's a government, a church, a school. The High Priest, or this is Emperor energy. Or excuse me, this isn't Emperor. I meant Hierophant. This is that Hierophant energy. This is being very, very spiritually driven, spiritually connected, having your moral compass that's really directing you as to where you're going, okay? The challenge that you're going to face over these next 6 months is the Soul card. This is all about a new journey, a new challenge. This is starting from scratch and creating something new. This is going to be an opportunity. I feel like you have an opportunity, pile number 4, to really kind of reinvent yourself over the next 6 months. So I would take advantage of that, but I would make sure that you're doing it from a place of having all of the information possible. Okay, because when we see this card like this, it could mean that you might be missing some of the important information. So really be sure that you are taking into account all of the factors, all of the issues. The energy that you're going to be coming from is the 6 of Candles. The 6 of Candles is also known as the 6 of Wands, and this is reversed. So when we have the 6 of Wands reversed, it's something that's been postponed. So there could have been something that you were very much looking forward to, but for whatever reason, it was postponed and you didn't get to experience that. But you may now have that experience going forward, okay? Okay, I want to look at the energy moving forward for pile number 4, and we have the 4 of Candles. This is the 4 of Wands. This is a celebration. This could be a wedding. This could be you getting married. This could be you attending a wedding. This could be some type of an anniversary party or celebration like a graduation. There's going to be a reason to celebrate, okay? This is about wishes coming true as well. The destiny, the aim for the next 6 months is 9 of Grains. The 9 of Grains is also known as the 9 of Pentacles. This is about having abundance, having material comforts. You're going to do just fine when it comes to having like money, resources, comforts. This is all very, very good energy. Now, what you don't see coming is the 7 of Candles. This is that David and Goliath energy. This is the 7 of Wands. This is having a very strong opposition or a very strong resistance. So there could be a challenge that you come up against in the next 6 months where you have incredibly strong opposition. But when that happens, remember the story of David and Goliath, right? David was able to take Goliath down. So you can do that too. You can accomplish very hard things. The energy for you for the next 6 months is the King of Wands reversed. You may have restrictions on your time. You may not have as much time as you would like. I feel like this is needing more time, running out of time, wishing you had more time. But there's going to be restrictions on your time, or your time's going to be, used a lot. Your environment for the next 6 months is the King of Feathers or the King of Swords. The King of Swords, this is a very, very smart, intellectual, masculine energy. You are going to be in this energy of being able to, around really clear thinkers, really quick thinkers. This is going to be, you might be around very intellectual people, but I think it's very interesting because your energy here is about having this like time restriction. And then we have this environment. We have these 2 kings kind of battling. So I feel like you have the opportunity to learn and to absorb so much, but it's like you don't have enough time. I see King David here reading, and it's like not having enough time to absorb all of the information, trying to scramble to collect information. I don't know what that's about, but okay. Your hopes or your fears. We have the 2 of Pentacles. This is needing to make a decision, and this is feeling out of balance. You have possibilities, you have prospects. This is wanting to have good choices, and I do feel that you are going to have good choices and good options coming over the next 6 months. Now, the final outcome is the King of Cups reversed. You have 3 of 4 kings. and the Hierophant. There's a lot of really strong energy in here. A lot of very emotional energy. The King of Cups reversed is about being distracted, having volatile emotions. This can be things being very unreliable. Okay, so that's very interesting energy that you have coming up. I want to get some oracle cards, keyword oracle cards, to see what else we can expect for you, pile number 4, for the next 6 months. What else can we expect for pile number 4 for the next 6 months, please? I'll move these over. I was trying to keep these away from that ring light. There we go. Okay, so what energy can we expect for pile number 4 in the next 6 months, please, Spirit? If you guys can hear that rustling in the background, that's my dogs. I apologize. They love